Many people spend a large part of their lives trying to prove their worth to others. They talk too much, explain themselves too often, and chase approval from people who may never truly appreciate them. The truth is that real value does not need to be loudly announced. It reveals itself through consistent behavior. The ancient philosophy of Stoicism teaches that your actions, discipline, and self-respect will naturally show people how they should treat you. When you carry yourself with quiet confidence, people begin to notice something different about you. They may not always understand it immediately, but they feel it. And when people feel that calm strength, they begin to respect you without you having to demand it. One powerful behavior that quietly teaches people your worth is learning to value your time. Many people give their time away too easily. They drop their priorities to please others, respond instantly to every request, and allow distractions to consume the days. But when you begin to protect your time, people start seeing you differently. You do not rush to attend every gathering, you do not say yes to every demand, and you do not allow others to interrupt your focus whenever they feel like it. This does not make you rude or arrogant. It shows that you understand the value of your own life. When people notice that your time is not easily available, they begin to respect it more. Another behavior that reveals your worth is staying calm when others expect you to react emotionally. In many situations, people test others without even realizing it. They might criticize, provoke, or try to draw you into unnecessary arguments. Most individuals react quickly, allowing their emotions to take control. But when you remain calm and composed, you send a powerful message without saying a word. Your calmness shows that you are not easily controlled by external opinions. Over time, people realize that trying to provoke you is pointless. Your silence and self-control become a quiet form of strength that others cannot easily ignore. Another important behavior is speaking less but speaking with intention. Some people feel the need to fill every silence with words. They talk constantly, explaining every detail of their thoughts and feelings. But Stoic wisdom encourages something different. When you speak less, your words carry more weight. You choose your moments carefully. When you do speak, people listen because they know your words are thoughtful and meaningful. This habit not only creates respect, but it also helps you observe more and understand people better. Another behavior that teaches people your worth is setting clear boundaries. Boundaries are not about pushing people away. They're about showing others how you expect to be treated. When someone repeatedly disrespects your time, your effort, or your kindness, it is important to address it calmly but firmly. You do not need anger or aggression to establish boundaries. A simple and confident refusal is often enough. When people realize that you will not tolerate disrespect, they begin to adjust their behavior around you. Another powerful behavior is continuing to grow even when nobody is watching. Many people only make an effort when they know others are paying attention. But the strongest individuals focus on self-improvement regardless of recognition. They develop their skills, strengthen the discipline, and work toward the goals quietly. This silent progress becomes visible over time. People start noticing the difference in your knowledge, your confidence, and your results. Without saying anything, your dedication shows that you take yourself seriously. Another Stoic behavior that reveals your worth is refusing to chase validation. Many people measure their value based on praise, attention, or approval from others. When they do not receive it, they feel insecure or discouraged. But Stoic thinking teaches that your worth comes from your character and your actions, not from external applause. When you stop seeking validation, you become emotionally independent. People begin to notice that you are comfortable in your own skin. That quiet confidence makes others respect you more because they see that your self-worth is not fragile. Another behavior that commands quiet respect is consistency. Anyone can act disciplined or confident for a short period of time. But real character is revealed through consistent behavior over weeks, months, and years. When people see that you remain calm under pressure, focused on your goals, and respectful toward others regardless of the situation, they begin to trust your character. Consistency removes doubt. It shows that your values are not temporary moods but permanent principles. Another important behavior is walking away from unnecessary drama. Many people feel drawn toward gossip, arguments, and conflicts that have nothing to do with the personal growth. They invest energy in situations that only create stress and distraction. But when you refuse to participate in drama, you send a clear signal that your peace is more valuable than temporary entertainment. People may initially find it unusual, but over time they begin to see the strength behind that choice. Another behavior that quietly demonstrates your worth is listening carefully. In a world where everyone wants to be heard, very few people truly listen. When you give someone your full attention, observe their words, and respond thoughtfully, you create a rare kind of respect. Listening shows patience, understanding, and emotional intelligence. It also allows you to learn more about the people and situations around you. Another powerful habit is accepting that not everyone will appreciate you, and being completely at peace with that reality. Many people exhaust themselves trying to win over everyone they meet. But Stoic wisdom reminds us that this is impossible. Some people will misunderstand you, some will dislike you, and some will simply not notice your value. Instead of fighting that reality, you accept it calmly. When you stop chasing approval, you gain freedom. And ironically, that independence often attracts more respect than constant effort to impress others. Over time, these quiet behaviors begin to shape the way people see you. They notice that you respect your time, protect your peace, and stay focused on growth. They realize that you are not easily influenced by opinions or distractions. Without you demanding respect, your character naturally earns it. If you want to continue learning powerful ideas like these that help you build confidence, emotional control, and inner strength, make sure you subscribe to this channel for more content like this. Every lesson you apply moves you one step closer to becoming someone whose presence alone commands quiet respect. Because in the end, your worth is not proven by what you say. It is revealed by how you live. And when your behavior reflects discipline, calmness, and self-respect, people will learn your value without you ever needing to explain it. Most people believe respect comes from speaking loudly, showing off success, or constantly proving themselves. But real respect rarely comes from force. It grows quietly when your behavior consistently reflects discipline, self-control, and self-respect. This is one of the central ideas behind Stoicism. Instead of chasing recognition, you focus on building character. And when your character becomes strong, people naturally begin to recognize your worth. You don't have to convince them. Your actions speak before your words ever do. One behavior that powerfully teaches people your worth is refusing to chase attention. In a world where everyone is trying to be noticed, the person who remains calm and focused stands out immediately. When you stop trying to impress everyone around you, people become curious about you. They begin to see that your confidence does not depend on applause or approval. That quiet confidence sends a clear message: you know your value, and you don't need constant validation to prove it. Another convincing behavior is mastering emotional control. Many people lose respect because they react impulsively to every situation. A small insult ruins their day, a disagreement turns into an argument, and criticism makes them defensive. But when you remain calm in situations where others expect an emotional reaction, you immediately set yourself apart. Emotional control shows maturity and strength. It tells people that your mind is disciplined and that you cannot easily be manipulated. Another powerful behavior is becoming selective with your energy. Your time and attention are limited resources. When you give them away too easily, people begin to take them for granted. But when you focus your energy on meaningful goals, personal growth, and productive work, people start to notice that your attention is valuable. You are not constantly available for distractions or unnecessary drama. This makes others realize that your presence and time are something worth respecting. Another convincing Stoic behavior is learning to walk away from situations that disrespect your values. Many people stay in conversations, friendships, or environments that drain them simply because they are afraid of being misunderstood. But when you calmly step away from negativity, you show that your peace is more important than pleasing everyone. This does not mean you act with arrogance or hostility. It means you understand that your mental and emotional well-being deserves protection. Another behavior that quietly commands respect is consistency. Anyone can act confident for a moment, but true character is revealed over time. When people see that you remain disciplined, focused, and calm day after day, they begin to trust your character. Consistency builds credibility. It shows that your actions are guided by principles, not by temporary emotions or moods. This reliability makes people see you as someone stable and dependable. Another convincing point is learning the strength of silence. Many people talk too much, explain too much, and argue too much. They believe constant talking will prove their intelligence or their importance. But Stoic wisdom teaches something different. When you speak less and listen more, your words gain weight. Silence creates presence. It makes people pay attention when you finally choose to speak. In many situations, the person who remains calm and silent holds more influence than the one speaking the loudest. Another powerful behavior is focusing on improvement instead of comparison. Many people measure their worth by comparing themselves to others. They feel proud when they appear better than someone else and insecure when they feel behind. But a Stoic mindset focuses on personal growth instead. You compete with the person you were yesterday. When people see you constantly improving your skills, discipline, and mindset, they begin to respect the dedication behind your progress. Another convincing behavior is accepting criticism with maturity. Most people immediately defend themselves when criticized. They argue, justify their actions, or attack the person who pointed out their mistake. But when you listen calmly to criticism and take what is useful from it, you demonstrate confidence and intelligence. You show that your ego does not control your growth. This ability to remain open to improvement quietly earns respect from those around you. Another behavior that reveals your worth is keeping your promises. Many people speak about the goals, their plans, and their intentions, but they rarely follow through. Over time, their words lose credibility. But when you say something and consistently deliver on it, people learn that your word can be trusted. Reliability is one of the strongest signals of personal value. Another convincing point is building a life that reflects discipline and purpose. When your actions show focus, patience, and dedication, people begin to sense that you are moving with direction. You are not wandering aimlessly or reacting to every distraction. You are building something meaningful. That quiet sense of purpose becomes visible in your attitude, your work, and your decisions. As these behaviors grow stronger in your life, something interesting happens. People begin to treat you differently. They notice that you are not easily influenced by negativity. They realize that you respect yourself, and because of that, they begin to respect you as well. You no longer need to demand recognition or argue for your value. Your character quietly teaches people who you are. If you want to continue developing this kind of calm strength, emotional discipline, and Stoic mindset, make sure you subscribe to this channel for more content like this. Every lesson you apply will help you become stronger, wiser, and more focused in a world that constantly tries to pull your attention in every direction. Because in the end, the most convincing way to show your worth is not through words. It is through the quiet power of your behavior. And when your actions consistently reflect discipline, integrity, and self-respect, people will recognize your value without you ever having to explain it. Most people spend their lives trying to convince others that they matter. They try to prove their intelligence, their success, their strength, and their importance. But the strange truth about respect is that the more you chase it, the more it slips away from you. Stoic philosophy teaches a very different path. It teaches that your worth is not something you argue for. It is something you quietly demonstrate through the way you live. When your behavior becomes disciplined, calm, and intentional, people begin to sense your value without you ever needing to explain it. One of the deepest behaviors that quietly teaches people your worth is the ability to remain emotionally unmoved by small provocations. Many people are easily controlled because their emotions are easily triggered. A careless comment ruins their mood. A small disagreement turns into a heated argument. But when you develop the discipline to stay calm even when someone tries to provoke you, something powerful happens. You show that your mind belongs to you, not to the opinions of others. This type of control makes people think twice before testing your patience again. Another powerful Stoic behavior is the ability to walk alone when necessary. Many people tolerate disrespect simply because they are afraid of being alone. They stay in unhealthy friendships, toxic environments, or meaningless conversations just to feel included. But a person who is comfortable with solitude sends a different message. They show that their peace is more important than temporary companionship. When people realize that you are not afraid to walk away, they understand that your presence is a choice, not a necessity. Another deeply convincing behavior is becoming difficult to distract. Modern life is full of noise, endless opinions, and constant demands for attention. Most people jump from one distraction to another without ever developing deep focus. But when someone commits themselves to the goals with patience and discipline, it becomes noticeable. You stop reacting to every trend, every argument, every piece of gossip. Instead, your attention is directed toward meaningful progress. People begin to recognize that your mind is focused on building something real. Another powerful behavior is mastering the art of patience. Impatience often reveals insecurity. People rush to prove themselves, rush to defend their opinions, and rush to achieve results so that others will admire them. But Stoicism teaches that patience is a form of quiet strength. When you move steadily instead of desperately, you show that you trust your process. You are not trying to impress the world overnight. You are building something that will last. Another behavior that quietly commands respect is refusing to explain your worth to those who are determined not to see it. Many people waste enormous energy trying to convince the wrong audience. They explain their intentions, justify their actions, and defend their character again and again. But wisdom teaches that some people are not interested in understanding you. They are only interested in judging you. When you stop trying to convince everyone and simply continue living with integrity, your energy becomes protected. Another deeply interesting behavior is the power of emotional restraint. In moments of anger, disappointment, or frustration, most people feel the urge to express everything immediately. They believe that releasing emotion is a sign of honesty. But Stoic thinking reminds us that unfiltered emotion often creates unnecessary damage. When you pause, breathe, and choose your response carefully, you show mastery over yourself. This discipline does not suppress emotion. It refines it. Another behavior that reveals deep self-worth is becoming comfortable with being misunderstood. This is one of the hardest lessons in life. No matter how clearly you explain yourself, some people will still misunderstand your intentions or your character. Many individuals spend years trying to correct every false impression. But Stoic wisdom teaches that your life is too valuable to be spent managing everyone's opinion. When you accept that misunderstanding is part of life, you gain freedom. Another powerful Stoic behavior is living by principles rather than moods. Most people allow their emotions to determine their actions. When they feel motivated, they work hard. When they feel discouraged, they stop trying. When they feel angry, they react impulsively. But when your actions are guided by principles instead of feelings, your character becomes stable. You continue doing what is right regardless of how you feel in the moment. Another behavior that quietly builds respect is the ability to admit when you are wrong. This may sound simple, but it requires tremendous inner strength. Many people defend their mistakes because their ego cannot tolerate being wrong. But when you calmly accept responsibility and focus on improving, you show confidence rather than weakness. People recognize that you care more about growth than about protecting your pride. Another deep and fascinating Stoic habit is learning to detach from constant praise. Praise can be as dangerous as criticism if you become dependent on it. When people praise you, it feels good. But if you begin working only for approval, you lose your independence. Stoic thinkers remind us that both praise and criticism are temporary opinions. When you remain steady regardless of applause or disapproval, your self-worth becomes unshakable. Another powerful behavior is the ability to remain grounded during success. Many people lose humility once they achieve recognition or progress. They begin to look down on others or become arrogant. But Stoicism teaches that success should strengthen your character, not inflate your ego. When you remain humble even as you grow, people notice the balance between your confidence and your discipline. Another behavior that silently commands respect is living with quiet purpose. People who lack direction often get pulled into unnecessary drama because they have nothing meaningful demanding their attention. But when your life is guided by a clear purpose, many distractions lose their appeal. You become selective about how you spend your time and energy. Others begin to sense that your life is moving with intention. Over time, these behaviors transform the way people see you. They may not always be able to explain why, but they feel the difference in your presence. You are calm when others are chaotic. You are patient when others are impulsive. You are focused when others are distracted. And slowly, without you demanding it, respect begins to follow you. If you want to keep developing this level of discipline, emotional strength, and Stoic wisdom, make sure you subscribe to this channel for more powerful lessons like this. Each idea you apply strengthens your character and helps you build a life that is guided by clarity instead of chaos. Because the most powerful way to show people your worth is not through arguments, explanations, or loud declarations. It is through the quiet authority of your actions. And when your behavior reflects calm discipline, integrity, and purpose, the world eventually learns your value without you ever having to announce it.